Hello everybody and welcome back to Tavern Talk. Oh my goodness, last time was just a whirlwind of emotions, wasn't it? A bunch of people came back, some people still haven't, but Melly came back, thank goodness she's okay. And Dave is back and did not kill their parents, so you know, that's a win. And it seems like they may be able to improve their relationship a little bit, but speaking of improving relationships, Fable still has not come back, and I am incredibly worried. I feel like they are very capable, but I feel like they're gonna still be mad at us when they come back, and honestly, we deserve it. I just wish we could apologize. But I am also incredibly worried about whatever this episode is going to be about, Disaster Tea and Revelations. That is a lot in one little chapter name, so let's just get started with the 31st of the Astral Moon and see who shows up today. I fear for us. You're back! Oh, finally! I was just thinking about you guys. Welcome back. It's good to see you both again. You guys have, been absent for, the entirety of the game. It feels like it's been forever. Hold your enthusiasm, innkeeper. We bring tales of disaster. And tea? And revelations? I don't mind a little disaster in my tales. After all, you tell them so well. She really does. As do you, Clay. Thank you. I hope my stories are as good as your drinks. They are to me. Speaking of which, can I offer you a drink in exchange for your insight into your disasters? That'd be great. Something that feels strong and magic-y, right? You remembered. Yes, that one, please. Coming right up. I genuinely don't remember what I gave last time, but strong and magic-y. Maybe we just go for some good old sailor's courage. Or what was the other one? Southern Brawler. Let's just go for that one. That one's easier to make. So 1 charisma. 1 defense. And then a bunch of muscle. And then some num-nums for the baby. Always gotta feed the baby. Don't worry, they're bottles of holding. They never empty. And boop! Da-da-da! Something tasty and strong, but hopefully not disastrous. Very tasty, very strong. You really got the best drinks around. Happy to hear that, Clay. Tia, you're bursting at the seams. How are the archives? Fun. Were they? Mayhaps. The bleak stalkers were... bleak? Cute. Cute? Very. Jay told us where to find the entrance to the archives. But when we got there, we found it surrounded by bleak stalkers. They were quite numerous. And so... shaped. I decided to ask them if they could let us through. And I thought he might need some help with that. So I called on your honey flowers and I extended my divine light to him. It made him glow softly and they all flocked to him like moths to a gentle flame. Did you know they have velvet wings that can fold into their bodies? I didn't. That's fascinating. They were so cuddly and showed off their crawling skills in exchange for carrots. I asked them if they'd like to be our tour guides and they were so excited. They'd never been tour guides before, and at first they thought it'd involve eating people. No, that's not what no! I might have acted a bit standoffish when trying to correct their misconception. Clay was able to convey the message much better. He's very good at explaining things. I think he really understands people. And that helps him meet them where they're at. I try to. Everyone has their own way of understanding things. I think that's beautiful. I envy your empathetic approach to life, Clay. Thank you, but you've got your own strengths. Like how you're a master of strategy, or how you're good at making people feel safe. Aww, I really like their friendship. I suppose we make a great team. I saw that blush. The best, I might say. We make a great team with the Bleakstalkers too. They let us right inside the archives, which were huge. Large parts of the Everbloom had collapsed, but even the explorable sections were unbelievably spacious. We had no time for a proper tour, unfortunately. We had to make it back in time for the barbecue, after all. That meant we had to be efficient during our search. Though we did take a break to admire the artist's hall the creatures excitedly led us to. Well, you gotta, they're the tour guides. We found abandoned pottery equipment that distracted us a little too much. Using more time than was perhaps appropriate, we molded tiny versions of the little critters as a gift to them. Aw, they loved them! I bet they did! Afterwards, we split up to cover more ground, each of us guided by a group of bleach stalkers. A dangerous choice. That's when the monsters get you. That's what Clay said, so I enchanted the friendship bracelets, that they would always sense in which direction the other person was located, so neither of us would get lost. It was so smart. Wicked smart. It was very useful. I see you kept yours on. I did. They really helped with navigating around the archives, too. It's a beautiful place, you know? I mean, everything's overgrown with vines or withered and full of termites. But we could still tell how much care had gone into building it. Some of the tree branches still had leaves on them. And I saw a couple stubborn lotus daisies trying to break through around the rocks. Nature always overtakes. Oh, I taught the bleak stalkers how to water them. They loved drinking out of the watering can. But they also enjoyed sharing the water with the lotus daisies. Hopefully they'll grow stronger again soon. What a shame all that effort went into building the archives for nothing. But it wasn't. It meant something to someone once. And I could still feel that love in it, even during our visit. Maybe it'll even bloom again. It's called the Everbloom, right? Like forever? I wonder who named it. We should go back sometime and see if we can find any information about the archivists. I bet they know some great drinking games. Perhaps we should honor their contributions by studying the knowledge they left behind. Why not both? They should be people first, symbol second. Oh. Yes. I guess both works too. Good idea, Clay. She's blushing so much. What else did you find in the archives, besides friends and the beauties and horrors of time, I mean? I got a little distracted when I asked our new friends to point me toward the cooking section. It was so fast. I found so many new bread recipes I can't wait to try out. He's gotta make a sourdough starter. I also found something for you. Me? For me? Yes, a recipe from a book on mixology. First I thought about taking the whole thing along, but it was a giant tome and the bleak stalkers was so attached to it. So I ripped out the page that looked the most interesting. We thought it would fit your repertoire. I got a new recipe! Last Whisper! Oh my! Last Whisper stealths itself into your heart. It provides a boost to strength and speed, and has a tough, if somewhat bitter aftertaste that will awaken your senses. Sometimes all you need is the right balance between elegance and brute force, and the correct translation of an ancient recipe. Beautiful. I think it does. Thank you very much. As for me, I asked them to lead me towards dangerous knowledge, and soon found myself in a hidden study. The bleak stalkers didn't want to go inside, like they were scared of its contents. Ooh, that's not good. Or maybe it is? So I rewarded them with some treats and ventured inside alone. Sounds like you got along with them rather well. I grew quite attached. Perhaps I would even call them my favorite animals. That means we solved your favorite animal quest. We did. They almost made me want to stay and waste more time. Isn't that strange? Not in the slightest. Time well spent is never time wasted. Perhaps you're right. Anyhow, the study. It was a complete mess, full of scriptures, scrolls, and written ramblings that would be forbidden these days. A little exciting. And worrying. The paper I was able to translate spoke of the apocalypse, of the end of it all. There was research on the roots of the Aether Tree and how to unbind them, written in shaking hands and fading ink. Was this more the scholarly or the mad scientist type of research? Hard to tell. The lines tend to blur with blasphemy. Do you know a lot about the Aether Tree? Because Tia gave me a whole presentation about it. I wouldn't mind a refresher. It's a giant tree. No fucking way. Good start. A world tree. That means our world rests on it. In it? Around it? Somewhere? In it, mostly. Depends on who you ask. The dragons guard the tree because they created it? Maybe. But definitely they care for us. And since we live in it, it should keep existing as it does now. Because no one wants their house to crumble. A lot of people would get hurt if something happened to everyone's home. That's true, but luckily for us, damaging the Aether Tree isn't possible. This is where I'm gonna find out it is possible, huh? It's larger than we could ever imagine. To us, it's really more of a concept than a tree. And the dragons defend it. Despite their oath of neutrality, they're no easy foes. There is one way. The Sigil of Alcahest. The what now? The Sigil of Alcahest. They're the key to destroying the Aether Tree, according to the scrolls I studied under the Archive's candlelight. Are they some sort of spell? More of a manual to a self-fulfilling prophecy, a way of breaking the cosmos in accordance with its own rules. For the tree to crumble, its foundation must be fractured. The 5 sigils of Alcahest represent the 5 dragons, each of which must be damaged to topple our world's balance. Oh no! Wait, there was those stars and the water. Were those 2 of the sigils? Only then can our cosmos reshape itself. The scrolls spoke of experiments for creating a sigil, unsuccessful experiments. That's reassuring. Not quite. They were only unsuccessful back then. Next to the notes of old, I found others, written in cleaner, newer parchment with unfaded ink. So this person is still working. Much of it was incomprehensible, written in languages I've never seen before. But various sketches of whales caught my eye, as did altered frostbite scrolls. Oh no. That sounds unsettlingly familiar. I fear that the starfall broke a sigil. By ripping holes into Cassiopeia's wings, it destabilized her flight. If she's damaged any further, time could be sent into disarray. Meanwhile, the tsunami, like I heard, didn't just plague the archives. The waves broke down the barriers between the primordial sea and the twilight chasm in ways never seen before. So that's 2 broken sigils? That's not good! What an incredible understatement. To witness one such sigil fracture would be anxiety-inducing enough. Knowing it has happened to 2 will keep me up for many nights. It's not 2, it's 3. 3? Alongside the notes, I found an old map with fresh markings. All the names were outdated, but the intention was clear. Marked were 5 interplanar portals. 30 years ago, their sudden appearance tore fissures into Gaia. I believe they were the first sigil. Oh no. Bad, right? Very. Who could have done this? I don't know. And why, of all things? If the Aether Tree collapsed, or even shifted it from its perfect balance, the destruction would end us all. Who would want that? No one thinking rationally, that's for sure. They might have a good reason for it. Maybe we can talk them out of it? I doubt it. Me too. Whoever it might be that's causing this, they only have 2 sigils left. Would be quite bad, right? Don't they say that waking the Elder Dragon will start the apocalypse? They do. I feel like there's too many ways to start the apocalypse. Welcome to D&D, Clay. Maybe they're all connected, and waking will break the last sigil. Although, I'd like to think breaking all the sigils is indeed impossible. Because it's impossible to reach Tuat in the spirit realm, correct? It's not exactly impossible. Okay, so then it is possible to break all 5. One can make it to the spirit dragon via the astral sea at the dawn of the dying moon. That's in 5 days, right? Oh, shit. Yes, but worry not. To reach such a specific location within the astral realm, very specific rituals are necessary. But wouldn't this person probably knows that, don't they? They've gone this far. and Gaia's portal to Cassiopeia is indispensable. Said portal is located in, and safely protected by, the Aperture, the stronghold of the Order of Starlight. And its rituals must be performed with outstanding accuracy to withstand the treacherous astral currents. Only the highest-ranking members of the Order are privy to this knowledge. And I guarantee you, all of us would rather die than aid in the destruction of the world. If the rest of them are as half as stubborn as you are, I think we're well protected. Exactly. That's good then. The rest is worse. What's bad is that we don't know who's behind this. Or why. By the dragons in the endless horizon, anyone would desire something so vile. I can already sense your next quest. But can I offer you a drink first? Your throat must be dry from all that exposition. I know mine is. I wouldn't say no to a drink. Perhaps something that will keep my mind intact. Defended from lunacy? I feel like I'm going mad. Say no more. Okay, something to defend your mind. Defense. How about a steel tonic? The party tank, vitality, impenetrable to damage. What else have we got? Silent owl. First snow. Comfortable and safe, embracing you with its frosty taste. Well equipped. Thousand winds. That one's alright. Sunny breeze. Frosted lagoon. I think steel tonic feels the most right, because it's like you're trying to stay strong during all of the craziness that's happening. Definitely not cursed coffee. I think that would just make her feel worse. Okay, we need something that raises attack and defense. So we'll go with this. A good old D20. And then one more in this one. Did I do the right thing? Oh, that's the wrong one. I picked up the wrong one. Here we go. One of this. Two of this. And then one of... Oh, my bad. Just dump that. One of this. Oh, sorry. Does that work? Apparently not. Let me take that out. There we go. Steel tonic with a giant pine cone in it. There you go. A delicious defense against the absurdity of evil plots. Thank you. This makes me feel a little less conspiratorial. I needed a breather. You know what else would make for a great breather? Fable's barbecue? Oh shit, Fable. Exactly! You're right. That would be quite pleasant right now. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but I don't think the barbecue is happening today. Fable hasn't returned from their quest yet. Oh. What quest are they on? Well, one that is technically already completed, but I don't know if they know that. Finding Melina. But we just saw Melee on the way here. Perhaps they found another quest while out. Heroism can be infectious like that. Innkeep, what kind of drink did you mix them? None. Oh no. Yeah. Maybe we should go look for them. Maybe so. Please do. No one has seen them in days. And the last thing I said to them, I'd hate for those words to stay the last. Please help me find them. Of course. I'm sure they could slay monsters without us, but some extra hands couldn't hurt. But you'll have to deliver your apologies yourself. I will, I promise. I will. I need to apologize. I'll slay that beast when it comes to it. Very well. But first we must solve our urgent sigil problem. I feel like we're just missing one piece. Oh! Hey! A piece of what? Cake? I'd like to order my usual cake, innkeeper. I don't serve cake. Oh, sorry, wrong voice. I don't serve cake, never have. Oh! Maybe you should. Another delicious delicacy would be. Also, still no blood. Oh. The sorrow I'm feeling almost equals the grief I felt after the vampire glitter competition of 1389. Oh? I had run out of glitter. I could serve you one of my usual drinks to alleviate some of that heartache. That would be splendid! I'd like something to enhance my immortal strength. No shopping bags will hold me back today. I'll see what I can do. Maybe just, like, something simple. Another southern brawler, perhaps. A little bit of charisma, a little bit of defense, and a little bit of that good old musculature. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba-bow! Here, with all the strength of a raging fire. Thank you, dear innkeeper. My blood is boiling with euphoria. Any particular reason for your shopping trip? A very particular one, dear innkeeper. It is a matter of life and death. I must head out to purchase this wondrous sustenance known as comfort food immediately. Do you know what comfort food is? I haven't the slightest idea. But it is rumored to restore you mortals back to full health. I'm afraid Rhea will perish should she not receive it. That sounds serious. Has she fallen ill? A fatal case of something she called being in the zone. I assume it's highly dangerous. She's refused to move away from her drawing board for over a year now. She even threw me out of the room upstairs when I offered her a blood pellet snack. How will her body handle another year without food? I have some good news for you. Rhea hasn't been sketching for a year. You guys checked in yesterday. How fortunate! And as for your legendary item, you should ask her about it. Generally, everyone has a different idea of what they consider comfort food. How wondrous. Though something tells me you should give her some time before you go back upstairs to ask. Why? Call it intuition. I don't think intuition is a very good name, innkeeper. Want to help me find a better one? Of course! I'll think of one before the next 80 years are up. Thank you. So, like, five minutes and he'll think of one. I shall remain for a while. And once I have acquired the correct comfort food, I will make sure my friend eats every last bite. Like a vampiric mother hen to her vampiric chick. I didn't know there were vampire chickens. There aren't. Do you know that for certain? Yes. I could have sworn the ones at my family estate had fangs. Chickens can't develop teeth. What about the little tooth that they have when they peck themselves out of the egg? Doesn't that count? And here I thought we were comrades in blood hunger. Chickens are still very fascinating all on their own. Did you know they have very colourful dreams? Oh, that's nice. I once helped a wild hen with a dream journal. I'll introduce you to sometime. My favourite thing about chickens is that they purr when they're happy. What charming creatures! The more I learn, the more they remind me of vampires. So simple, sweet, and ferocious, yet their origin harbours one of the greatest mysteries of life. What came first, the chicken or the egg? The egg? Well, when you think about it... Perhaps something had to lay the egg, but a chicken must come out of the egg, so did the chicken or the egg? It is one of life's great mysteries. I think the chicken. Just to be contrarian. The clenched fist. Not going to weigh in? I am intellectually withdrawing myself from this conversation. But unlike this unsolved mystery, I do know how vampires were created. Would you mind elaborating? Weren't you intellectually withdrawing? Got him. As a cleric of Cassiopeia, humility is a lifelong objective that I strive towards. As such, I must admit when I need to concede words spoken in haste. Which would be now, I suppose. Please, Kyle, if you wouldn't mind expanding on what you just said. Certainly! It must have been over 5 centuries ago when a scholar stole some of the immortal blood of the dragons. The scholar offered it to Queen Annabeth, who would become the vampire's monarch. I have never heard of Queen Annabeth. I think that was just the plot of a really challenging board game, Kyle. Oh, you're right. So then Mike was real after all? Mike? Yes, it's all coming back to me now. The first vampire that walked in the world was the infamous Michael. But most of us call him Mike. He had a very close connection to the spirit dragon in his domain. Oh no, is this about the sigils? Eventually, Mike struck a deal with Tuat. In exchange for guarding the dragon's realm, he would get to live forever. But that didn't work out, I guess? Old Mike didn't read the fine print. The spirit dragon turned out to be a trickster. Tuat turned him into a new form of undead creature, invulnerable to age and disease, but still weak to the blade. Blood was the only thing he could stomach to consume, and with time even sunlight became intolerable. Mike was no longer welcome among the living, but the dead didn't want him either. And that's how the first vampire was created. Fascinating. There was so little known about the spirit dragon in his realm. Kyle, just how do you possess knowledge that's considered ancient by today's standards? What knowledge? Oh, the knowledge you just told us about. Ah! I stumbled upon it in a grimoire I bought the other day at the local bookstore. Nope, that was the vampire romance book Lynn recommended to you. Try again. But of course! Dear Evelyn was such a history fanatic. How could I not pick up a few stories? That was one of her favorites. I still dream of her deathly beautiful countenance as she narrated tales until the intruders stopped screaming. Okay. She always told the story of our progenitor, Mike, so softly. She would cradle a vial of his blood and her tone would turn so reverent. A secret to share just with me, she would say. Uh-oh. I didn't mean to break the last oath between us as well. I'm sure we can help you keep this a secret, right? A secret between new friends. If secrecy is how we can repay you for sharing this with us, then so be it. Since you seem to have been very close to her, I wanted to let you know. We traveled past Marrow Castle on our way back. It looked awfully damaged. The destruction looked so fresh. If only we had passed by earlier. Clay even spotted a heavily armored silhouette a short distance away from what remained of the castle walls. We hurried over as quickly as possible, but the shadow was gone by the time we got there. As it was, only rubble remained. Oh, I'm sorry, Kyle. Was my dear Evelyn unharmed? We don't know. The castle looked abandoned, like a ruin. My Evelyn, what horrid fiend could have inflicted such damage? She must have fought back fiercely. May her opponents suffer twice the damage they inflicted upon her. What I wouldn't give to know her safe. I think I need to go ask Rhea about her comfort food. Oh, poor Kyle. Let's give him some time to come to terms with what he just learned. Yeah. I don't know if he's gonna come back downstairs tonight. Carolyn! Unionize? Oh, hey! Greetings, brave adventurers! Great morrow, innkeeper. There seem to be a few more bones than usual with you, Scully. You observe correctly, my friend. They are wonderful parting gifts, aren't they? Sure are. Care to bring me up to speed, Lynn? Nah, you'll survive being left hanging for a few more minutes. You're bullying me. You're bullying your innkeeper, Lynn. Patience, young innkeep. I am not young. I am an immortal fae. Or something like that. Scully has been waiting to tell you the story since we left the Pale Woods. I will try to compose myself. This tale deserves the cracking of every last one of my rhetorical knuckles. Let us recount our tale properly, Dame Carolyn. Hang on. I think I could go for one of your drinks first. That can be arranged. Something to keep my strength up. I didn't get to flex my muscles much during our quest. A good one might net you a story. No pressure, Lynn. Alright, I was just gonna do a southern brawler. I'll give you a freaking one of the good ones. We'll go with Sailor's Courage. Let me see if I can get this right on the first try. Probably not. But maybe I could. I did it! A great drink for a great story. Aren't you lucky? I'd like to think luck has nothing to do with it. Perhaps not. I might have something else to cheer you up. Oh? Mellie's back. Oh. Relieved? Like a great sword's been lifted off my shoulders. Is she alright? Yes, though you might prefer to see for yourself. She and Dave left me their address to give to you. Who? You know them. Right, got it. Only one person would fit such an uninspired name. They better have apologized to Millie, or else. You'll have to find out the details for yourself. Just don't keep them waiting for too long. Don't need to tell me that. Fable isn't back then? No. Sure are taking their time. Feel like looking for them yet? No. They're capable. Just my patience is starting to wear thin. You had some to begin with? You're pretty chatty for someone within greatsword distance. Right, sorry. Can I interest you in one of my drinks as well, Scully? With an offer like that, my friend, how can a skeleton say no? Perhaps something to enhance my aura. I would like to do the proclamation of this tale proper justice. Of course, of course. Something with the charisma. Nothing better than a spoken heart. Dave's favorite, mainly because it's the only thing I give to them. Boop. And, boop. Oh, and we can't forget to give you some num-nums. It's been like 5 minutes. There you go. Please enjoy. Oh my. They say manners maketh man, but this drink alone has invigorated me plenty. I can almost feel the warmth of flesh on my bones again. A pleasure to be of service? Our quest was confusing. Inspiring. My favorite flavor of quest. Not enough fighting, in my opinion. Felt like my muscles were wasting away on the way back here. But the most important muscle of all received a superb workout. The brain. Metaphorically for me, of course. I've been wondering about that, actually. No. We're not even gonna get started on that topic. I do have to agree, my friend. Let's not get distracted. Though I would be delighted to share my theories with you, innkeeper. Let me know when you have an hour to spare. Or 5. Now back to the task at hand. We started by making our way westwards, though our progress was slow. Any complications?
Yes, quite a few. Before embarking on this journey, I was woefully ignorant about the plight of the Zoan farmers. The less than ideal weather conditions, the flood that ruined a lot of crops, and now this pesky undead problem. I was stricken with empathy for their struggle. The least we could have done was offer up our means of transportation for any soul looking for a better life further north. So we switched carriages. 3 times. By the 3rd time we had gotten so far off course it took us a whole day just to get back on track, on foot. But once our hike was over, we did get to spend a wonderful afternoon with Dame Carolyn's cousin, Lady Danica.
That was nice, I guess. The cousin with the undead snail problem, yes? Did you manage to liven up that garden for her? Get it? Get it? Get it? Undead pun?
Sure did. Just had to set out some cabbage to lead them somewhere we wouldn't be damaging any crops, and with just one magnificent strike! Truly a sight to behold. It was just some undead snails, no need to have gotten so excited. To match the excitement, Lady Danica served us some positively delightful cups of tea. Better than any accompanying finger sandwiches were some new facts I had gleaned from observing the snails. Even lacking souls, they still displayed some pack behavior. They acted nothing like real animals, of course, but somehow I was struck with empathy for their plight. To unconsciously seek out a manner of instinctual action. Despite the lack of anything to grant them a conscious objective. Is there a more transparent yearning for purpose than that? My apologies. It appears what they say about old age is true. You can't help but philosophize.
And you couldn't help but relate?
In a way. One can't help but wonder whether any choice I make is truly my own or just the post-mortem reflex of these old bones. Perhaps even my thirst for knowledge.
And yet your enjoyment of it seems genuine.
Oh. Truly, innkeeper, you have a way with words.
Just lots of experience.
Though that may be, my worries seem rather foolish now. I count myself as quite fortuitous that despite all my memory lacks, I can delight in learning it all again. Does it really matter, then, where such an urge comes from? Anyhow, my apologies, Dame Carolyn. I completely derailed our epic tale. Allow me to make up for it by continuing post-haste. We departed after that lovely cup of tea and finally headed for the Pale Woods. Lady Danica provided us with a cart and a trusty steed, a cow with the most lovely temperament. Her name's Lizoliet. I made sure to greet the gentleman that passed us on our way to the woods. What a magnificent shadow armor he was wearing. Something about it felt oddly familiar. Uh-oh. Perhaps it was only my hope that we would look just as gallant after our quest. Lizoliet valiantly took us to the edge of the forest, where maliciousness permeated the very air we breathed. What he means is it stunk real bad. We left Lizoliet there. Sparing her the stench seemed like the right thing to do. And forth we ventured. Didn't take long to find what we were looking for. The place was crawling with them, which also explained the smell. For some reason, the miasma didn't seem to bother me much.
Most respectfully, you don't have a nose.
Oh, of course. Anyways, there was a veritable horde before us, an army of undead creatures shambling their way through the forest. One gnawed tree at a time. That's right, they were eating trees. I forgot about that. They were awfully interested in trees, it's true. I was itching to tear into them. But remembering the plan, I stepped back with a hand on my greatsword. The crucial part of a successful negotiation is that you don't go into it blind, and so we observed. The undead creatures were displaying similar patterns to the snails. They weren't just stumbling around senselessly. They seemed to be following a pack leader. A representative! That simplified things considerably. My first course of action was clear. I let Dame Carolyn know my intentions. Seemed reasonable enough. While I circled the group to get to the leader at the front, she remained hidden in the shadows of the thicket. I walked up to the leader, another skeleton, making sure I displayed an open and respectful disposition.
I suppose they were not open and respectful in return?
Nope. Before I could even react, the skeleton had bitten down on Scaly's arm. Agony! Is what I would have said if I hadn't been protected by my frost armor and your excellent drinks mixing skills. Aw, thank you. Always glad to hear my drinks are protecting my clients on their quests. If only I had just given Fable one when they asked for one. My friend, your drinks are astonishingly potent. Maybe too potent. As soon as the undead creature bit down, their teeth shattered upon impact. The leader recoiled immediately. All the others surrounding us froze. The leader fell to the ground, cradling their face with their hands. Curiously, when they regained composure, their expression was filled with joy. Still no idea how you can read an expression on a skull. They were actually quite expressive for a skeleton. Skeletons definitely do have expressions. You just have to get used to it by looking a little harder for them. Now you're just pulling my paw. I have no problem reading Scully's expressions. He has a beautiful smile. Now you're just making me blush, you rascal. Let's move on. The teeth shattering was quite worrying. It made me re-examine the bite marks on the trees around us. Peculiarly, the bite marks here were quite a bit more shallow than what we had seen in other parts of the forest. Which means... all those undead creatures had severe dental issues. The leader was so happy because the frost armor's chill was dulling their pain. The others' teeth were also in truly poor condition. And looking at their behavior, that seemed to be causing them severe pain. Coupled with their hunger for trees, it became a never-ending cycle of suffering. It should have never gotten so bad. I asked them why they hadn't reported the issue to their necromancer. It was clearly starting to impact the fulfillment of their objective. That got him really heated. Oh, that's why it's called unionize. They unionize the undead plant-eating zombies. They tried to rip apart Scully again. But Dame Carolyn skillfully resolved the situation with a bit of intimidation. It turns out, they didn't even have dental! They don't even have dental! Carolyn? I'm with Scully on this one. They had no benefits, nothing. They were just expected to be quiet and follow orders. That doesn't sound right to me. It's a scam, that's what it is. No sick leave, no compensation, no PTO, no dental. They didn't want to hear it. We're doing what we love. We don't need fancy benefits. But you should have seen the state they were in. They couldn't even take a proper chomp out of the trees out of bark anymore. What would happen when their teeth deteriorated even further? Their necromancer would replace them with another undead creature in a heartbeat. That was when Scully really got to him, I think. The words were just pouring out of my mouth, and I was elated to hear they were the right ones. The light reflecting off the frost armor really dazzled him, too. Any skeleton worth their calcium should be able to acquire such armor. They needn't be bound by such a neglectful necromancer. My apologies. No, you're right. Go off. It appears I lost my composure just now. You might soon be contacted to host the first UFU gathering, Innkeeper. Union for the Undead. UFU 1755. Never forget your roots. They're welcome to visit any time. They'll get discounts on the drinks. I think they really want to improve their situation. Most respectably, they promise to leave the Pale Woods alone as well. One of the UFU's goals is to find a more sustainable way to deal with their obsession eventually. They're heading for their necromancer now. There are a bunch of demands to settle. They graced us with a great deal of parting gifts before we left. We got the hallux that broke off one of them when they attacked Dame Carolyn. Their leader gave me the teeth we couldn't put back into their skull. Oh, and this eyeball. I'm overjoyed we managed to resolve our quest in a peaceful manner. Can't deny your resolution was pretty effective. Good to know you're both happy with how it ended. Those are the outcomes I most enjoy hearing about from my patrons. Oh! But we did get you something as well, Innkeeper. Right. Here. The trees looked really chewed on, and dead, but the berries seemed like they were thriving. They're the ones Elfie was going on about. Not like they're here to appreciate them now, so I guess you can have them. Just set some aside to make Fable a drink when they're back. Sounds fair. I have to make them a drink and apologize heavily. Hang on, let me look at this. Ghostberry? Ooh. Ghostberries are nearly translucent and only grow deep within the moon swamp for a few months every year. They're safe to eat, but rather sour to taste. Invisibility? Perfect aid for stealth quests as well as hunting. Very helpful to avoid fights entirely. Ooh. Also, while I was plucking the berries, the spirits of the trees gave us a little keepsake. Because they were so glad we stopped all that gnawing. Sadly, I don't have any more storage space left in my hat. Yeah, hats of holding can only hold like 500 pounds, right? So we wanted you to have it as well. Now we can always indulge in sweet memories whenever we visit. What is it? What is it? Oh, how cool! Next to the storm. I think I know just the place for it. Thank you very much. Scully, you ever thought about becoming an advocate for this kind of stuff? Not that I can usually stand him, but you seem to really care about all this. Oh no, I'm but a mere heap of bones here to learn all I can. But it is a gentleman's way to speak out when evil is committed in front of you. So I don't suppose I will stop doing that just anytime soon. Sounds good to me. I still wonder what all those undead creatures were doing there. No idea. We didn't ask. Hunger? Seemed to be heading north before we talked to them. Maybe they were searching for more trees? I don't know, I'm hearing a lot about north. The Pale Woods is one of the largest forests in Vizoa. I don't see a reason for them to leave the area before it was barren. Unless they were ordered to. Don't they typically come with a necromancer attached? You don't suppose that gentleman we encountered outside the woods could have been that very necromancer? I don't think farmers wear armor like what you described. Oh, if I had known what a dastardly negligent necromancer they were, I never would have offered that greeting. Ugh. Just realized where they could have been heading. It's true there aren't many woods around here that compare to the Pale Woods, but that giant root in the capital must look pretty good to some tree-obsessed undeads. There might be tons more headed there even now. Oh, shoot indeed. High fiber risks. Just to clarify, you believe hordes of undead creatures were marching towards the capital? Well, towards the roots would be my guess. I see. They're heading towards Themis to gnaw at the divine roots, as if to... Oh, fell the Aether Tree! Precisely! Not that such an action alone could destroy the whole thing, but it would certainly do some damage. What in the hell are you talking about? As I just stated, someone is trying to destroy the Aether Tree. The star fall, the primordial flood, even the interplanar portals, it's all part of a big plot. Was that not clear? No. Oh my, that's awful. And insane if true. Is it working? Unfortunately so. Or do you see the stars in the night sky? I mean, there's one. There used to be more. And we don't know who's behind it yet either. Well, Carolyn, Mr. Scully, the gentle person you greeted outside the woods, you thought he might be a necromancer. He certainly bore the armor of one. Did he seem like he wanted to kill everyone? Not particularly, though it can be hard to tell sometimes. Yeah, they just said hi. They didn't get to chat with him. Politeness and a desire for homicide aren't necessarily mutually exclusive. Necromancers resurrect dead things to make undead creatures. Indeed they do. So, Scully, you were resurrected, right? Do you remember anything about it? Well, I admit at first I recalled very little from the start of my new life. I mostly stumbled about trying to remember my manners. But my memories, or rather the memories of my body, which I suppose are also my memories, have been getting clearer lately. Let me try to focus my thoughts. I believe I awakened in the archives, in the Everbloom. What? The Everbloom? Did you encounter any bleak stalkers? Why, I did indeed. They seemed very hungry for my bones. Such interesting creatures. They remind me of the old intellect wombats. Do those beasts still roam Vizoa? No. What are intellect wombats? Priorities, Tia. Scully, who woke you up? Gentleman of fine age. I believe he was there to do research? I remembered candles held over notes scribbled in paper, ink stains on fingertips. He must have found me near my friend's study. I remember I was looking for her when... After I woke, I simply left. How rude and uninquisitive of me. I should have asked what he was researching. I could have helped.
Be glad you did not aid him. We found his notes. They spoke of the destruction of the universe. Did the guys from the woods remind you of the one in the archives?
Now that you mention it. I wasn't conscious enough to recognize faces when I rose, but I knew the armor looked familiar. Oh no, this is all connected! Oh, this is really, really bad. I think I saw it when I first opened my eyes. Metaphorically, of course. I no longer have eyelids.
A necromancer is behind all of this. Is he trying to break the sigils just to get to Tuat, the spirit dragon in the realm of death?
Sigils? Are you perchance speaking of the sigils of Alcahest? My friend was researching them once. I always thought them a wild figment of her imagination. Seems like they're not, unfortunately.
Do necromancers usually want to destroy Tuat? No, but they do defy his laws of life and death. Perhaps he craves access to all the souls in the spirit dragon guards. Or he plans to destroy death once and for all with his perversions.
But, my dears, to destroy Tuat one must find him first. That in itself would be quite an impossible task, no? Oh no! They have Kyle's partner! His ex-wife! She knows! And no offense to Kyle, but there's no way we're the first person he's yapped about that to. He talked to this necromancer, didn't he?
And the Shadow Armor guy was there! Not exactly. The spirit realm is well protected, but there are ways to get to him. Can you kill death? I don't know, but merely attempting it sounds disastrous.
Miss Anwar, Miss Moore, Tuat is the god of death. No matter how insane the necromancer, no one could possess a weapon powerful enough to fight a god. Only weapons made by dragons can harm them, we all know this. You mean like Ur's great axe?
A weapon forged for the dragons by the dragons, meant only for their claws. The axe. It could certainly cut through the barrier between the astral sea and the upper world, if not through Tuat himself. Would stealing an axe from a dragon count as a sigil?
Alright, y'all lost me again.
I talked about this already, keep up. I'll explain later.
Humph.
It might count as a sigil if it awakens or damages their plane.
Should not be awakened under any circumstances. Nor should their legendary weapon fall into the hands of a mere mortal. My, this is quite concerning. I'm right there with you. This seems like too insane of a plot. Even for some big bad evil guy, BBEG.
They always seem to be reaching for new heights in their dastardly schemes. If we're correct, this one's plan to steal Ur's weapon, break their sigil, and then destroy Tuat. Dragons be with us. What about the undead creatures marching towards the capital? They must be a distraction, a way to keep anyone who would interfere off his back.
Quite the dangerous distraction, if you ask me. Those poor husks shouldn't be snacking away at those roots either, should they?
No.
And the sigils of alcohol, zest you keep talking about, could do what? Destroy the tree?
The spirit realm rests above all others in the canopy of our world. If what we believe this to be the monster's plan succeeds, it will collapse down onto the rest of the Aether Tree. Not only would that free all dead souls, it would destroy the tree, our home, our cosmos, and everything below it. It would destroy our world as we know it. Not to mention, Tuat might die. I don't think I have to explain to you why death dying would be a bad thing.
Once again, can he die? Wouldn't risk it. Anything can die. Though I believe this plot of his has to be limited somewhat, no? Perhaps to the transitional period between the astral moon and the dying moon? Only then would the veil between Cassiopeia and Tuat be thin enough for a ritual of such magnitude to succeed.
Wait, what you mean is this can only happen the night between the 35th of Cassiopeia and the 1st of Tuat? So it can only work in 4 days. Or next year.
Precisely.
I guess you can't have a ritual without unnecessarily complicated rules.
It is common courtesy.
Clay, I've been wondering. Remember that man we saw on our way back, near Marrow Castle?
Yes, do you think he might have been the same guy?
I do. Strange armor sounds familiar, as does the convenient proximity to destruction. And more so, that blood of the first vampire Kyle spoke of. Part of the ritual to safely traverse the astral sea involves having an associated anchor for your destination. To find Tuat, you need something connected to him. Oh, and that would be the vampire blood. Oh, no. Oh, no. Like the blood of a vampire eternally bound to him? Yes, maybe our villain got his hands on it. Perhaps he knows more of Cassiopeia than I anticipated.
All this out of context shit is giving me a headache. Innkeep got another drink to spare to help with all this mess. Something powerful enough to get me through this.
Anything for you, Lynn?
Probably a steel tonic.
Or an attack one, that works too. Sailor's Courage it is. Almost did that wrong. There we go. There we go. Sailor's Courage. I need it. This is, oh, it's all coming together. The strands, they're combining. I put all the strength I have into this drink. Enjoy. I think you just put parts of my sanity back together. Thanks a lot. Could I have a sip of that, please? Anytime. So, this madman, if he can't get the X, he can't kill the spirit dragon, right? Correct. Great. Let's stop him from getting to the X then. Great idea. I know. Now how do we do that? Well, first the necromancer needs to find it. For that, he'd have to get to Ur's realm. Thanks to the portals, that is entirely within the realm of possibility. One would simply have to journey through the portals to the Twilight Chasm, and then enter the endless caves through the Nightmare Realm.
Nothing easier than that.
Didn't Melly see some weird new bone waymarkers near the Twilight Chasm portal in the Moon Swamps? Could they be there to remind someone, say, a necromancer, of the way to the portal?
They could.
Good. The moon pools are much easier to reach than Boreas. We should catch the necromancer before he ventures into the chasm, and most certainly before he gets the axe.
Great. Let's go beat his
Hold on. What if you don't succeed? I have faith in you, but he sounds powerful. How about a backup plan?
Hate to say it, but you're not wrong.
Thanks for looking out for us.
If we don't manage to stop him from getting the weapon, we stand no chance in a fight against him. Even your divine strikes would be no match, Miss Anwar.
That is true. We would need an incredibly powerful weapon to match his. Rhea?
Not sure if it's enough, but I do have this sword I got from my baba.
Let me see it. Oh! This is a remarkable craftsmanship, infused with minor divine powers. Incredible. But I'm afraid even this cannot rival the Great Axe in any capacity.
What if it was mixed with dragon fire?
What?
Do you happen to have such a thing on hand, young lad?
No, but I know where we can find some. The ever-burning flame in the Highlands is dragon fire. The one you wanted to see, Tia. I think now might be a good time for that. You're right. Dragonfire merged with Carolyn's blessed sword. It wouldn't be as powerful as the axe, but it might give us a fighting chance. If we had a master craftsman to forge it, that is.
Rhea! Rhea, she's a blacksmith.
You're right, there's no one better for the job. I'm sure she'd love to forge such a weapon. And I'm sure you can convince her of the importance, Lynn.
You got that right. Leave the blacksmith recruiting to me.
Very well. I'm sure Master Smith Frostgrip will be delighted with this opportunity. Having her on our side makes me even more confident that we can stop this necromancer's plans. I have the utmost faith in us. And I know the aperture and its astral portals are well protected, even if we should fail. Though I don't believe we will. Because I know I'm strong enough to best this battle, and that Clay is as well. And the others too. Yes, the others too. I'll be honest, I'm not sure if the 4 of you will be enough. Don't worry, there's lots of people we can ask for help. Like you. Like me? Ask away. I knew we could count on you. You collect everything we talk about, right? I'd try my best. Could you write up 2 quests for all of this? I think we should split our resources so we get the backup plan going at the same time. Good idea, young man. Plus, it'll give us an excuse to have your drinks helpless. Not that you need an excuse, but I appreciate you following my rituals. I'll see what I can do. I should have something written up first thing in the morning. I trust in you as you trust in us. Deeply? Hopefully. Yes. Deeply, and with the knowledge that together we are stronger. We'll see you in the morning then. Carolyn, come with us. We owe you a few explanations before we make you do any persuasion work with us. You got that right. Let's go. Yeah, she kind of needs to have context before she actually, tries to explain everything to Rhea. I cannot miss out on more possible details. I shall see you in the morning, Innkeep. Thank you for all your help. Let's save the world, alright? Let's, Clay. Good luck. I just hope I get a chance to apologize to Fable before that happens. Oh, not tonight. I was kind of hoping it would, like, transition into night, and it's like, oh, Fable's back, and they can help with this, but I guess not. Okay, Carolyn's Grand Greatsword once belonged to her grandmother. Allegedly, it's a gift from the dragon themselves. Only a weapon forged with dragonfire can resist another draconic weapon's power. Plane of Undead, Stranger, Wrapped in Roots. Oh, I'm making more than 2 quests, I think, or I could be wrong. Legends, Enemy Aims for the Destruction, The Great Axe of New quest. Oh, I got it wrong. Ultimately powerful weapon. The enemy needs the Great Axe. Let's see. The Wondrous Plains of let's see. There we go. The Twilight Chase. World calamity is imminent, but there is one last way to save it. The only weapon strong enough to harm Tuat in the Aether Tree is the legendary Great Axe of and the personification of evil wants it desperately. But first he must make it through the Twilight Chasm, and for that he needs a portal. Sounds like a good location to stop him, right? Okay, that's 1. Let's do the undead one next. Carolyn, Legends, Capital Wrapped in Roots, Undead. Here we go. The Dead Parade. A horde of undead is approaching the capital. Their insatiable hunger for the local flora leads them to the exposed roots of the Aether Tree, and therefore the capital of Themis, since it lies nestled in the safety of the roots. This is a mere distraction so the necromancer can fulfill its true plan, but the undead still must be stopped before they hunger for flesh once more. Okay, last one. Okay. One has to go through a number of overly complicated rituals. Good thing no cleric would ever aid in something like that. Legends or clerics say that the first flame of Leviathan ever bestowed upon mankind still burns in a temple in the Highlands. Let's see. Would this work? Okay, hang on. Boom. Boom. Dragonfire. There we go. Heir of Dragonfire. Only a weapon forged in Dragonfire would ever dream to hold up against the legendary Great Axe of Luckily, a temple in the Highlands houses the ever-burning flame, an ancient gift from the dragons that'll come in handy right about now, and what better sword to reshape with this flame than another gift from the Realm Keepers, an heirloom passed down to Carolyn with heroism scorched into its very essence. Dang, that's 3 quests. That's the most quests we've ever posted at once, right? Oh yeah, and that's the end of the day. Give some num-nums to undo, give a stretch, and a very stressful... Oh man. What's the next day? Twilight Zinnius. Is that how you say that? I don't know, but
It feels like everything is coming to a head. We have so many plots going on that we're finally getting, like, coming to fruition. We made 3 quests tonight. We have some information. We know that the necromancer is behind it, and it seems like this is the person that we know too, right? So how is the innkeeper connected to this? Where is Fable? Like, we have everyone back except for Fable. Oh, I'm so worried, but I don't know. I guess we'll find out. But oh my goodness, there's just so much going on. It feels like so much is happening. We have our BBEG. They're getting ready. They're preparing. They have a backup plan. They're gonna have our drinks. And I just want them to succeed. But I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. We'll see who grabs which quest, and we'll do our very, very best to help them along the way. And hopefully we'll get to see Fable again before everything comes to a head. But we'll have to wait and see until next time. Until then, thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed, please consider subscribing. Remember to take care of yourself. Remember to watch out for guys in spooky armor who don't give their undead creatures dental. And have a good day.